So this is a video that I have been wanting to do for an age now, okay? But because of old Corona, I couldn't get the test car when I was supposed to get the test car. But now I have finally gotten it now that we're all back into the swing of things. Well, sort of. And it is, of course, the Suzuki Swift Sport, which happens to be one of my favorite little cars in the world. I mean, the Swift is a car that I recommend time and time again because it's an excellent little product. Oh, now you've got the sport version. I mean, does it get better than that? I don't think so. So what you've got under the engine is no longer the 1.6 litre naturally aspirated engine, but now a 1.4 litre turbocharged engine. It's the booster jet engine that they've put in here. It's got 103 kilowatts of power, 230 newton meters of torque. Now I know that doesn't sound like big numbers when you're talking about a little sports car or whatever, but bear in mind that this is 90 kilograms lighter than the previous model. So it's sitting at like 970 kilograms, which is light as a feather. So this little thing can power. In fact, there's something in the back of my car. My apologies for that. I realized while filming that someone had actually broken into the car. But what happened was I had run inside and the back door was the door was unlocked, and so they've climbed in, gone through everything. There's nothing in the car because I never leave anything in the car, but they stole my sanitizer. Ha ha to them. That's all you get, motherfucker. But anyways, what makes me happy is that I am driving the Suzuki Swift Sport, like I mentioned.
Not like any other boys, they're all so dumb and insecure. There's just
image
something that's really in the way. It's not fun, and I think you're really mean.
I think you're really mean.
I think you're really mean. Oh.
So I know, like I said, the numbers aren't exactly huge or whatever, but it's light and you can still get this to 100 k's now in just 8 seconds. I think I could do it quicker. I've got the manual transmission, which is the one I would certainly go for. You can get the new 6-speed automatic, but I think this is a car that you want to engage with and drive, like, you know, you want to drive it. So drive it with a manual. You're looking at a claimed fuel consumption of just 6.1 litres per 100 k's. I've been sitting at 6.2. No, I haven't. 7.2. Okay, just made them look good there. Which is fine, and I've been driving it. So that's not too bad. Once you maybe kind of get down off the excitement, you might then start driving a little bit more conservatively. But why would you? Okay, because it's fun. So the interior, I mean, I quite love it. It's fine, you know, it's not, there's no sort of wow factor to it. I'd say the thing that maybe bothers me a little bit is the infotainment system. I find it to be just a little bit sort of simple, and it doesn't work as intuitively as I would like it to. Yeah, it kind of feels like they can do better than that, but it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and all those kinds of things, so it is comprehensive, and that's, I guess, all you really need, you know. A little side note, I took this on Car Magazine's performance shootout last year. It was one of the cars that was part of the shootout. It was up against like a Porsche 911 and a i30N and like whatever, not like competing sort of, and it was, I think I put it in my top 3 out of all the cars, and I think there were like 11 or 12 cars, because the fun factor in this car is just outstanding. It's just such a fun little car.
I spent ages giving head, and I remember. It's not fair, and I think you're really mean. I think you're really mean. I think you're really mean. Oh, you're supposed to care.
So, you know, it's got like a revised chassis and the suspension's been tweaked up, and going along some of those sort of mountain passes, I mean, I was pushing this car to, I'm going to say my limits, and it just handled beautifully. It was dynamic, like I say, it does everything that you want to do on a budget, because you're looking at just under 328,000 Rand for this manual, add on 20 grand if you want the auto. And I think it's sort of like the most amount of fun you could have for that amount of money, you know, in terms of buying a car, like a performance car or a sports car or whatever. Look, you're not buying this practically minded, okay, because the boot's not amazing, even though, I mean, the robber who was in here now took that whole thing apart, so I got to see everything. which I do appreciate. So thank you, Mr. Burglar. Okay. But it's, you know, there's not a lot of space in here. It's not a particularly spacious car. So here's the thing. I don't know if I myself would spend over 300,000 Rand on a sort of impractical car, but that's because I'm so practical. It's painful. I would love this as a sort of fun little second car though. Like to go to the shops, to pop out, like to go on like a lovely little mountain pass or whatever, because I think it is just utter joy being in this car. That's a lot. Okay, so here's my free advice. Just in general, don't be a doers on the road, and especially the highway. I've done a lot of highway driving this week, and what's bothered me is the impatience of everybody on the road. And I'm all for one, you know, you drive in that fast lane only if you're passing and if you flip and going quickly, otherwise you get out of the way. What bothers me is if now I'm going past someone, okay, I'm doing 120, I might be doing a little bit more to get past this person, and I'm going to turn back into the lane because I can see you coming up behind me, and I'm going to move over. But if there's an off-ramp and a solid line, I'm not moving. Do not force me to do something illegal on the road because you're too impatient to wait. Impatient to wait. The sort of, what is it, like 30 meters that I have to get before. And yes, I know I'm being a stickler for the rules there, but there's a reason there's a solid line. Obey those rules.